So we have seen some examples in mask, and we have used what? We have used brushes. Okay, we have used brushes to see the effect of mask. Now I am going to show you effect of mask using gradient tool. Okay, so let us see. So we can first thing what I will do is I am going to take a new layer here, and then I am going to use this rectangular marquee tool. Okay, we will apply some gradient. You can select any gradient. Okay, just create a gradient. So now what I am going to do is, normally you can use a brush, apply a mask, apply some Revlol or Hydrol mask and see the effect. But what I will do now, I will apply a gradient. See how I am going to apply a gradient. See, first I am going to apply normal mask. So you can see a white color mask thumbnail. Now I am going to hit G. G means gradient, and then I am going to use a black and white gradient. Black and white. Okay, so your black and then your white. Okay, to see the effect of mask. Okay, and I am going to use linear gradient. Linear gradient. So you are going to get some nice fade out effect. See, just I am going to drag this gradient from left to right. See, you got some nice fade out effect. See, wherever there is black, that part has become transparent. Wherever there is white, that part is visible. Okay, you can use these things like some nice labels. More fade out. See, more black means more fading effect. Okay, I will take one more layer. I am going to just create one more selection, and then I will again use some gradients. Okay, then again I am going to create a gradient like this and then again I am going to apply mask to this, and then I will use the same black and white color. So this is how we can use gradient tool to see the effect of mask. See, we got again nice fade out effect. See, okay. So wherever there is black, that area has become transparent. And then what you can do is you can use these things as some labels, some nice labels you can put. So like this. So let me change its color. So see here. So something like this we can create some nice interesting labels using gradient tool. Okay, so this is one thing that we can do. The next thing I want to tell you is, so we have been using soft round brush, but I will use a different type of brush and you'll see some different effects. Okay, so what I am going to do is, first I am going to open one image. So I am going to take this image of a woods. Okay, so this is a woods image, and I am going to take a image of a girl. So where is the girl? Just a minute. Okay, so Control 0 to see the transform tool, just scale it down. Okay, right. So see, I am going to use a different brush now. Okay, so first let me apply hydrol mask. So how to apply hydrol mask? So we can just simply use Alt and click on this mask icon. So now we have applied a hydrol mask. Okay, and then what is the next thing we'll do? I'm going to select the brush. This time I will not select the soft round brush. I will select some different brush. Okay, so let me select the natural brush. Okay, so see, if you are using 2021 version, you can simply type, see here, just you can type natural brushes. Okay, you can check to the select the brushes from here actually. Okay, you can do like this. Okay, this is how you can do. If you are using latest version only, this search option appears only in the latest version. Remember that. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me check some interesting brushes. Okay. So we can check this one. This brush is there. So instead of natural brush, we can check this. First, let me check this. See here. So something like this, as if it is appearing from this wood. Okay, but this brush is not so interesting. Let me check some different brush actually. So actually system is a little bit slow. Just wait a minute for some time. Okay, just a minute. These are natural brush. Okay, so I'm going to select this brush. So let me select this natural brush. Okay. See here. So you can get different combinations, okay, with different brushes. Okay, see, and to make it more interesting, so I can apply some inner shadow to this. Okay, just double click on this. Okay, and then see, I can apply inner shadow. See what is inner shadow actually? So you can just reset to default, and then see here and change it to normal. So you can see this. So there is a shadow. It makes it more realistic. See here. See, you can see the change. So something like this, as if something is inside the hoods. And to make it more interesting, see, I can actually take a new layer here above this active layer, and I can apply one gradient. I will apply a rainbow colors. Interesting rainbow colors. Okay, just drag it like this. Okay, these are all rainbow colors, and I am going to make it as a clipping mask. So Alt and clip. Okay, I have made it into a clipping mask. Then what I am going to do, I made it as a clipping mask to this bottom layer. Then what you will do? I am going to apply color blending. See here. So you can get some nice interesting combinations here. Somebody has come. Eunice, can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, why you came online today?
Water running.
Huh?
Water is coming. Then.
What coming? Okay, right. Okay, see, so something you can do like this. And let us try with a different brush. Okay, this is a natural brush. Let me try with a different brush now. Let me delete this. Let me also delete this. Okay, so this time again I am going to apply alt and click. Okay, brush, and just come down. See, I have downloaded some brushes from online. Okay, you can use these brushes. See, here we have this bled brushes. Okay, I have used this glossy bled. Okay, this brush I got from where? Brusheasy.com. I think all of you know that website, right? Use pure white. See how it's showing. If you want to rotate it. So let me get some more. So the brush name is. See, mute your mic. Somebody disturbance is coming. Just a minute. I will check the brush. Where is it actually? I lost something. Here. Can anyone see these brushes? Yeah, here it is. See here. See? This is one fancy brush which I have downloaded from brusheasy.com. Fancy brush. There are different types here, so you can use all these different types and check the effect here. See, and we are able to see this interesting effect because of the inner shadow also. Inner shadow is very much important. And then again you can do the same thing. Take a new layer. You can actually apply this one rainbow gradient. Make it into a clipping mask, and then you can use color blending. See here. So these are some nice interesting things that you can do. You just apart from using the normal brush, you can also experiment with the fancy brushes. You can download some interesting brushes from online and also do something similar to this. Okay. See, I will give you an assignment on this. Just do that. See, take a image of rock. Okay, hard rock. Okay, something like a rock, or you can say rock texture also. You can say something like this. You can take some rock texture images like this. Okay, and then take a picture. Okay, take an image of some film star. Okay, some film star. Okay, make him appear from inside that rock. Okay, that person should appear from inside that rock, and you have to put the title at the bottom as put title at bottom. Okay, bottom as Rockstar. Okay, understood what I'm saying? So what you have to do, take a rock image, take an actor's photo, and like just how this girl is appearing from that wood, girl is appearing from the wood now. So in the same way, that actor should appear from that rock. You can use different brushes. Try to find some nice interesting brushes in brusheasy.com, and also try to apply inner shadow, and at the bottom you have to put that title Rockstar. So this is your first assignment. Right. Next. Okay. So now we understood the interesting things in mask. There is one more mask left. So what is that one more mask? That mask is called vector mask. Okay. So what is a vector mask? See, first you write down this point, okay? Vector mask, okay? Mainly used with vector shapes or shapes. To apply vector mask from layers, palette, hold control and click on the layer mask. Okay? Everybody has the notes, huh? Okay, right. So now we will see what is how we can use a vector mask. Okay, so we will use the same image. Here I am going to delete all these things. Okay, okay. See, first important thing, vector mask will not will only work with shapes. Okay, vector mask will only work with shapes. Okay, to apply vector mask, we have to go to the layer menu, and then here we have the option vector, reveal all and header, same like layer mask. Okay, same options are there. Most important thing is to see the effect of vector mask. First we'll apply vector mask. See, reveal all. See, we got a same thumbnail. This thumbnail looks exactly like mask thumbnail, normal layer mask thumbnail. But to see the effect of vector mask, see, first thing is you have to select the thumbnail. Wait a minute. Let me apply the vector mask. See, first thing is the thumbnail should be active. Second thing is always the option should be path. Option should always be path. It should not be shape. Third, here option or should always be combined shapes. See, sometimes what happens is normally by default these combined shapes will be active, but sometimes what happens is some other options will be active. They explode, overlapping the something. So even at that time this will not work. So always keep this option as combined shapes, keep this as path, and then make sure that the thumbnail, mask thumbnail is active. And now we will see the effect of vector mask. So we can see the effect of vector mask by drawing shapes with pen tool or by using the existing shapes also. So see, you can use these shapes also to see the effect of vector mask. So we will create our own shape with pen tool. Okay, so we'll create a simple heart shape like always. Okay, so path, thumbnail active, combined shapes active. So now see here. So this is vector mask, and see here, it is now showing in gray color. Okay, and then you can modify this shape. See, like this. Okay, you can modify, and also you can add the points to the shape. So just you can use the add anchor point tool, just add some points, and then you can use the direct selection tool, and then so you can control like this. And you can also do one thing, you can create more shapes. You can either use the pen tool to create shapes, or this time what you do, I will take a custom shape tool. See, in custom shape I have saved so many shapes. Let me use this flower shape. But the most important thing is this thumbnail should be active. Okay, this vector mask thumbnail should be active. And now let us try to draw the other shapes. See, okay, it's not coming. Why? See, because I will tell you, here the active option is what? Shape. So I'll turn it into path. And now we'll see. Still it is not coming. Okay, now it's coming. See? See here? See? And to make it more interesting, again we will use the same technique before, inner shadow. So double click on this, and then we can use inner shadow. See, there is an inner shadow. Okay. See how it's looking. You can create some nice album designs with this. See here. Okay, some nice album designs you can create. Okay, and then to make it more interesting, see, I will tell you one thing. So you just write down this one point here to give feather or softness to vector mask. Okay, right. So see here, if you want to give some feather, so what you can do, see, open the properties. Okay, How you will open a properties? Select the vector mask, Windows and properties. See here, and let me select this. So it's not still showing up, right? Yeah. Now it is showing. See, you can see the properties here. So in properties, what you can see? Feather and density. See, these are another interesting things. What you can do, see, if I try to increase the feather, you see these shapes become very soft. See here, you have added some feather. So that is one thing. You can make it more interesting by changing the density. See what happens. If I reduce the density, see, you can see some change. See here, it's like some adding some opacity. Okay. See here, some nice interesting results you can get with these things. Okay. Okay, let me actually take one pic of a married couple. Okay, you can say something like Indian bride and groom. Okay, if you just type Indian bride and groom, and for this I will give you one assignment also. Just we will first find one nice groom and bride photo. Okay. Which one is nice? This is looking better. Okay, I will use this. Okay. So we will open it in Photoshop. Okay. So then we will just crop some part here. Okay, image and crop. Okay. Right. So then what I will do, I am going to apply a vector mask to this. Okay. So just take one new layer and we will just give it some white color, or you can say black. You can give black color also, no problem. Okay. See, now this layer is black color, bottom layer, and now we will apply vector mask. So how to apply vector mask? See, you can also apply vector mask hide all. And in case you want to apply vector mask from layers panel, okay, you have to hold control and click. So this is the vector mask. Okay, but we will do one thing. You go to layer, vector mask and hide all. This is vector mask, remember, not layer mask. So if you get this kind of grey color thumbnail, it means it is a vector mask. Then what we will do? We will select some custom shape. Okay, you can also create your own shapes. Take this one. Make sure that the path option is active. Make sure that combine shapes is active. Make sure that this thumbnail is active. Then we will see. Okay, so we got it like this. Okay. Okay, and then we can use a butterfly also. Okay, so I have used these things. Now what we'll do is we will apply some inner shadow to this. Okay, so just click on this. So we have an inner shadow. Okay, some default inner shadow I have applied. Let's reduce the this one distance. So can you see that inner shadow? Okay, it's a light one. Then what we'll do is, see, I am going to take a duplicate of this. So how to take a duplicate? Control C. And then I am going to delete this. Delete vector mask. So now vector mask is deleted. Now let me convert it into black and white. So how we can convert? Control Shift U. And let us keep it below this vector mask. See here. So we got some nice interesting look, and you can make it more interesting. How? See, I am going to select the thumbnail and let us try to change the density. See, you can use this density value, and you can also see make it a little bit opaque here, bottom layer, or transparent. See here. See, so you can use this different combinations. Able to understand? And actually the feather is there, I think. Feather is not there now. Why it's looking very soft? Because of inner shadow. Let me change it. I want sharp edges. Angle also is the reason. Okay. See. You can create something like this. You can create some more shapes. And let us select this. See here, if I am changing the density, you can see the different results here. With the density, you can see the different results, and you can also try to experiment with the opacity here.
So what if you want to remove some shapes?
Remove shape. You want to remove a shape. So for example, if you want to remove this shape, see, if you want to remove the shape, how you can remove? We'll select this. Use the path selection and it's gone. Okay. So something like this you can create actually. And if you want to add some more shape here, so what you can do? Simply go to the custom shape, or you can use pen tool to create your own shape. So just to save time, I'm selecting the shapes that are already available to us. But one thing, we have to select this one, and then here we have to create. Okay, so this is how we have to create. Right? Something like this. Okay, so some nice interesting things you can do with this, and we can try to change these inner shadow values. Okay, see, it's looking like this. Without inner shadow, it is looking like this. We can try inner glow also. See, now also it's looking interesting. And you can also add a stroke if you want. Stroke actually has to be outside. Stroke is not so interesting. So you can try with stroke. here. Somebody has come. Tirumal Kumar. Right? Understood? So we can use this technique for some album designs. We can use this technique for album design. And one more thing I want to tell you. See, you can convert the vector mask into layer mask. You can convert the vector mask to layer mask. Okay, but before that I will also tell you. For example, if you want to change the shape of this heart, what you can do? You can just use the add anchor point tool. Just click somewhere here. See, I can modify the shape. How to modify the shape? Use the direct selection tool. Then see, I can modify the shape here. You will understand? Understand? So like this I can modify the shape. Okay. And if you want to convert the vector mask to layer mask, so what you can do is, see here we have an option. See, to convert the vector mask to layer mask, right click on the vector mask thumbnail and select the rasterize vector mask. Okay, is it good? Is it clear? Right. So see here. So what I will do is, see, I can just right click and I can use rasterize vector mask. So what will happen? So see, now it is no longer a vector mask. Means you cannot use any shapes here. So you have to use what? Brushes. So just like before, we can use brushes now. So I can just select a brush. So you can select any type of brush. You can also use fancy brushes. Okay, you can use different fancy brushes, or you can use natural brushes. So where are our natural brushes? Here I am using the natural brush. See here. See here. I am trying to change these things to a natural brush, actually normal brush. See here. Okay, see here. So something like this. See here. So we have first used the vector mask, and then we have converted the vector mask to layer mask. So you can use this technique for creating some nice album designs, album cover designs, wedding album cover designs. Okay, so this one assignment I will give. Okay, just do this. So create a wedding scene. Okay, create a wedding scene with vector mask shapes. Okay, create a wedding scene with vector mask shapes. Something like what I told you. Okay, you can create a say wedding scene like wedding is taking place, or you can show the bride and groom together. Like that, you can take similar type of images and something you can use you can show it like a cover, album cover. Okay, so just I will write, okay, show it like an album cover. So this is your second assignment. Okay, so if you try to see increase the opacity, you can see different changes here. See, you can see different changes. Understood, everyone? You can see different combinations here. So this is the end of mask. So many things we can do with mask. So we have from last class to this class. Last class we have done edge marking and also Turnitin. This class we have used this vector mask, and also we have done one more example with mask using different brushes. And also we have used gradient tool to see the effect of mask. So lot of interesting things you can do. And also don't think that we have completed mask means we will be using mask again in the next coming up examples like photo manipulation, matte painting, and some more interesting things we are going to start. At that time again we are going to use mask. Okay, right. So now I am going to start a new topic. Okay, so that is filters. Okay, so what are filters? So first I am going to create one new document. So I think all of you know how to turn a portrait document to landscape, right? Yes or no? Portrait document to landscape. I think I told you in the previous classes. No or yes? So to turn a portrait document to landscape, did I tell you this or not? Image rotation 90 degrees clockwise. I think I told you some time back. I told you. You want to turn a landscape to portrait again? Image rotation 90 degrees. So like this we can turn portrait to landscape, landscape to portrait. Okay. Right. So next step. So now we will start filters. See what are filters? Why we use filters? Okay. There is a very big list of filters here. Okay. So we use filters for some background effects. That is one use of filter. Okay. We can also use filters for creating some artistic effects. Artistic effects or artwork. You can create an artwork like drawing, sketching. Like for that purpose also we can use filter. We can also use filters for photo retouching. Okay. So just a minute. Okay. So first I will show you the basic filter. Okay. See, and when you are applying a filter, you should also check your foreground and background colors. Right now the foreground color is black, background color is white. So we will change it to some different colors. So I am going to change it to some blue and dark blue color. Now I have changed it to blue and dark. Okay. Now we will apply simple basic filter. Okay. First I will start with a simple clouds filter. Okay. And some of the filters use the colors of foreground and background. Some filters don't use. Okay. But some filters use. So filter, render, and I am going to apply this clouds. See. Now you can see simple cloud filter. And why we are getting blue and dark blue? Because of foreground and background colors. So if you try to change this to background color to, let us say I am going to change it to red. Okay, now let us apply the filter. Okay, filter, render, clouds. Okay, see, now we got a reddish clouds. Okay, see, now you got a red and white clouds. So this is used for some nice, creating some nice interesting background effects. You can insert interesting backgrounds. Okay, now we'll apply some blur filter to this. We'll apply blur filter. So what is a blur filter? Here filter, blur, and here we have number of blur options. So we'll apply a radial blur filter. Okay. So here we have a radial blur. So here see, I can use the spin option. We'll use zoom option, but so I am increasing the amount and just click OK. See, now you got one more interesting background. Okay, and not only this kind of effects, we can also create textures. If you want to create some nice texture using filters, you can also create. So let me create one nice texture. So I am going to create a blue, select blue. Okay, we'll create select a dark blue here, dark blue and light blue. I'm going to take a new layer and let me apply fibers. See, we got some nice jeans pant texture. Jeans pant texture using filters. You can try to change the values here. You can use fibers and see, you can use this option variance. And you can check the difference. See, now it's looking a little bit different. So even for textures also we can use filters. Okay, and see, I can do the combination of both the layers using blending mode. See, you can see the combination here. So lot of interesting combinations you can do. And also I can apply one more filter to this existing filter. Like say we'll apply now extrude filters. See, this is a extrude filter. See, this is something like a boxes. So many combinations you can get with these filters. And again, you can combine this one with the bottom layer. See, and then again you can check different combinations. See, colors. So a lot of background effects we can create using the filters. Okay, understood now? Right. So this is one use. Now we'll do something interesting with the filters. Okay. So we'll first create a sun rays. We'll create a sun rays with filters. Okay. So let us see how we can create. Okay, so what, see, you just write down this first 4 points here. See, first 4 points, or okay, you better write everything, all points you write, okay? Because 5 points only are there now. Quickly finish it off. Okay, see here, I have selected this image. See, why did I select this image only? Because this image has bright areas. You can select some different image also, but that image will not have this kind of bright area. Okay, so I have selected this image. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to first select these bright areas. How I can select bright areas? See, I am going to use something called color range. You just select the color range and then pick that brightest spot. Okay, just to pick the brightest spot and just click OK. So now I have selected the bright areas. Now I am going to copy paste these bright areas. How we can copy paste? Control C, Control Shift V. So I have copied and pasted. Control C, Control Shift V. Now what I am going to do? I am going to apply a blur filter. Okay. So I am going to go to filter, blur, radial blur. Okay. So in this radial blur, see this radial blur dialog box. So what I am going to do is, see here we have options, spin, zoom, okay, quality is there, and we'll keep it best. I am going to select zoom, and see here we have an option, blur center. You can see some options here. So here we can change the blur center. Right now the rays are coming from the center. So I am going to change the center point of the rays. So now, see, if I keep it like this, now the rays will come from top right corner. Okay, then amount is maximum, zoom, best, and now it is this one is from top right corner, and then just click OK. See, you can see some rays coming. If you want more intensity, see, just duplicate the layers. See here, now there is more intensity. So you can create something like this. Okay, like sun rays coming from forest. Okay, we'll try to change the direction here. Okay, again what I will do, I will go to the filter, blur, radial blur, and let me change it to this side. Okay, now top left corner, just click OK. See, now the rays are coming from this side. And again, if you want more intensity, duplicate. See? So you can create some artificial sun rays using this option, okay, technique, using this radial blur filter. And one more thing I want to tell you is, let us say if you don't have this type of images, the good advantage of this image is having bright spots. But let us say I will take one more image. So I am going to take this image. See, this image is not having any bright areas. So if you want to create a rays from these type of images, there is one more method actually. But that method may not be that much effective, but still you can try. So I will show you. So I am going to take a new layer. Okay, I will take a brush. I am going to take I will select that hard brush. Okay, so here I am selecting a hard brush. Then I am going to create a circles. Okay, I am going to create circles of different sizes, and I have taken new layers. Okay, so I have created different circles like this. If you want, you can create more circles. Okay, then what you will do, I am going to apply radial blur to this. Okay, just simply go to the filter, blur, and radial blur. Okay, we can actually change the direction like this. Okay, and then we just click OK. See, we got some mild rays. Let's intensify them. Take a duplicate. This is not exactly like the previous one, but still you can go for this. Okay, you can try. Understood? Right. Now we will see the next options. Okay, so what are those next options? Just here. Okay, see, this is an image, okay, of a crowd. Okay, here if I want to focus on a particular person, or if I want to highlight a particular person, example, if I want to highlight this person, I have to blur out the remaining persons or remaining people. So what I can do is, see, I am going to select the lasso tool. I am going to just to draw a selection around this person like this. Okay, and I can give some feather also. Right click feather, or you can use Shift F6. So I will give some 12 as a feather radius. Okay, then what I will do, I am going to invert the selection. So how to invert the selection? Shift Control I. So now I have inverted the selection. Now what you do, go to the filter, blur, and we'll use Gaussian blur. Okay, Gaussian blur. Okay, so if you use Gaussian blur, what will happen? See, here this person is now highlighted, the remaining crowd is blurred out. I can do this. Okay, but there is one problem with it. If I want to reduce the blur effect sometime, because I have put a very high value here, I want to again minimize or reduce the blur value, blur amount. I don't have any option. I have to only use Ctrl Z and go back and apply blur again. Okay, again I have to apply blur. Also, if I want to, say for example, I want to create a selection close to this person, I can't do anything now. I have to only use Ctrl Z, go back again, and then start from the scratch again, from the beginning again. So instead, we have a solution for this. Okay, so what is the solution? I will tell you. We have to convert this image into a smart object. Okay, how we can convert? Simply right click, convert to a smart object. Okay, so see, now it is a smart object. How you will know that this is smart object? See, you can see this icon. This icon tells that this is a smart object. So why we have to convert it to smart object? Because if we convert it into a smart object, we can apply smart filters. Okay, if you convert an image to smart object, we can directly apply smart filters. What are smart filters? I will show you. See, let me apply Gaussian blur to this. Okay, same Gaussian blur just now we have applied. Let me apply. See, I have applied Gaussian blur. Now one good thing you see. Now the value of Gaussian blur is too much. I want to reduce the value of Gaussian blur. See now, you can see that Gaussian blur here. I can simply double click on this. Reduce the amount of Gaussian blur. See, this is easy actually. If you convert to smart object only, you will be able to access this Gaussian blur. I can increase or I can decrease like this. Okay. One more good thing about this smart filters I will tell you. See here, you have a thumbnail. You can use this thumbnail just like a mask. Just select that thumbnail and I want to remove the effect from this person. So what I can do, I can just take a brush, just take a saffron brush, then simply I can paint on this person. Paint which color? Black. See? Very easy. I can also decide how much I have to paint. Okay? So I can just zoom, and if I think that see I have painted too much, then I can actually again use a white color and just remove. So I can only paint this much. And one more thing is there. See, if I want to inverse, means I want the crowd to be visible and this person should to be blurred out. So at that time what I can do, I can invert the mask. How? Control I. Simply use Control I and see. Now this person is blurred out, the crowd is visible. So this is the advantage of smart objects. With smart objects we can get smart filters. Okay. So I will show you one more example. Just a minute. Change it to some just okay. See here, I am going to again convert it into a smart object. Okay, then let me apply the radial blur filter. Okay, see radial blur. We can create some nice, interesting that movie poster effects, something like this. See, I am changing the direction here. See. And if you want to increase the effect, apply radial blur second time. See, second time you can use keyboard shortcut Alt Control F. So now it is more intense. See? Third time you can apply. Okay, 3 times I have applied. Now I want to remove this radial blur from some area. So I can just select the thumbnail, take a brush. Which brush I have to take? Normal saffron brush. Then I will use black color. Then let me erase it from some parts. See here. See here. I can create some nice interesting things. Understood? So you can also see one more interesting thing. Instead of taking full black color, so we can reduce the flow amount, means the power, and then you can create some mild effect. Okay? See. Okay? You can create some nice mild effect. So you can use this for some poster designs, like that. And one more thing I want to tell you. Okay, see, I have taken this image of this Ladakh, okay, this scenery or landscape. This is Ladakh is a region in North India. Okay, it's near Kashmir. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to turn this image into a artwork or watercolor painting. Okay, so how we can convert? See, first thing what I will do is I am going to turn this image into a smart object. Right click, convert to smart object. Then I am going to use some filters. First let me hit D. D means black and white color. Then let me go to the filter gallery. Okay, first I am going to show you the black and white filter. See, here we have an option sketch. See here, sketch. So this is with this we can create something like a pencil drawing. In the real photo we can convert it into a pencil drawing. See here, you can use this photocopy. Okay, so you can actually change these values here. See, you can actually reduce the darkness or increase the darkness like this. Photocopy is there. You can use stamp. You can use bas relief. See, this is like some emboss effect you are getting. Okay, see here. Okay, but the interesting thing is, see, you can use this photocopy. Okay, charcoal also you can use. You can use photocopy, and what you can do is, see, I am going to reduce the darkness, increase the detail. Okay, just click OK. Okay, now it is looking like this, like some pencil drawing. Now what we will do is we will also apply some color to this. So how we will apply color? Just select the thumbnail, take a brush, take a soft round brush, reduce the flow value, we will keep it around 10%. Okay, 10% is okay. And then what I will do, let me paint. So see here, see, I am painting the color. See here, means we are converting a real photo into a painting. If you want to increase the flow value, you can increase. So something like this you can create. We'll also try with one more image actually. So add image will select. We'll do the same with this image. Okay, right click, convert to smart object. Then what you'll do? Go to the filter gallery. See here, you can use the photocopy option. You can increase the darkness if you want. You can actually reduce the detail. Okay, so see, it's looking like some drawing, pencil drawing. Now what you can do? Thumbnail. Select the thumbnail. Take a brush, soft round brush. Reduce the flow amount, and if you want to paint color, what you can do? Simply paint. See, it looks like a pencil drawing. See. See, you can increase the one thing you can do. Wait a minute, let me. We can just simply increase the brush. Okay, and then we can just simply paint with one. Like this. See, like this you can. If you do means increase the size. If you do it for the second time, it will become more dark. If you do it for the third time, it will become more dark. So like this you can do, but actually we can do only for once. That's it. Don't make it too much so that it will look like a real photo. Now it's looking like some sketch. Okay. And one more thing I want to tell you is here. See, there are artistic filters here. I'm just going to open. See here, these filters are sketch filter. They appear like some outlines, outlines or pencil drawings. Here we have these watercolor. See, we are now converting a photo into a watercolor, or you can say crayons. In your childhood you are using that watercolors, right? Okay, like this. See, the landscape we have converted into a watercolor painting, and here we have watercolor also. See, fresco you can use, or you can use watercolor also, but for this we have to change some of these values here. See here, it's looking like some painting. Create the texture, but actually texture is not so interesting. See, you can use the paint daubs also. Okay, you can use paint daubs, you can use dry brush, sponge you can use, but I think fresco is nice. Fresco is interesting, so I will use fresco. And we'll try to increase the brush detail. Okay, see, now we got like this. Now what we'll do is, see, that filter effect is too much. We'll try to reduce the filter amount. How? Just select this thumbnail. We'll try to increase the flow value to 25 is okay. Now we'll select the brush. We'll select a soft round brush, and see, we are not able to see the road here. So let me paint on the road. See here. So like this I can just paint like this. See, so that it is a little bit clear. Okay, see here, now it looks like a some watercolor painting. Understood? So we can use filters like this. So let me give you one more assignment. Okay, so on filters, I think you already have 3 assignments, right? 3 or 2? Okay, 2 assignments. So just one assignment I will give. Actually, we don't have time for one more assignment, so I will complete with one more with this last assignment. Okay. Next assignment I will give you in the next class. Okay. So what you have to do is take a picture of Switzerland. So you know what is Switzerland? There is a country called Switzerland. Take some picture of Switzerland and convert it into a watercolor painting. Okay. So Switzerland is a very beautiful country. So so it's a very beautiful country actually, with lot of landscapes are there. So see here. Okay, see here. So this is a these are the images of Switzerland. Okay, so there is a place similar to Switzerland in our country. Anybody can tell? Shimla. Okay, it's Shimla also looks same like Switzerland. So what you have to take, what you have to do is take the picture of this some nice beautiful scenery of Switzerland, and you have to convert it into a watercolor painting. Okay, using the filters, right? So this is your class assignment. Okay. Okay. Next thing is, see, just I want to tell you one thing, and then after that I will check your assignments. See, we can also apply filters to text. Okay. Only thing you have to do is, see, first let me type the text. Okay. Okay, so see here, to apply filter to this text. Okay, so you can simply go to the filter, and here we have a list of filters. So what I will do is, see, first let me apply this distort filter. So here we have a filter called twirl. See here, twirl, and it is showing some message. Means we cannot directly apply filter to text. We have to first convert the text to an image, or we can have to convert the text to a smart object. Okay, we'll first convert the text to we'll rasterize the text. We'll convert the text to an image. See, now you can apply filter to this. This is what fill. Okay, this filter's name is fill. You can actually rotate it like this, or you can see something like this. See? Okay, something like we have seen the text warp effect, right? You can use combination of both. And you can also do something like see, I will tell you, Control J, take a duplicate, and I'm going to use see, skew. There is something called skew. Skew means you can make it like you can bend it like this. You can bend this one also. Okay, then I am going to apply blur filter to this bottom one. Okay, so filter, blur, motion blur. So we will apply motion blur. Okay, again it is showing rasterize. Just select the rasterize option. See, you can create something like this. Okay, and you can also do one thing. So you convert it into a smart object. Okay, and then you'll apply a filter now. Blur, motion blur. So what is the advantage of using a smart object? We are going to get a smart filter. So what is the use of smart filter? So I can remove this effect from some parts. So you can actually, if you want, you can reduce the flow amount like this, and see, I can remove it from some places. Like this. Okay, some places I can remove like that I can do. So this is how we can apply filter, okay, to text. Okay.